Hello everyone, this is Bhagwati and in this video we are going to learn how to access elements of a list using loops. Before we get into loops, let's first take an overview of list. You can imagine like you have a collection of items like a shopping list. Instead of storing all the items of the shopping list in separate variables, Python gave us a powerful tool, that is list. A list in Python looks like this, like if we have a list of fruits, then it may contain apple, banana and cherry. So here is our list, and we also know that lists are ordered. That means each item has a fixed position which has indexes, which starts from 0 and ends up to the number of elements minus 1. So here it starts from 0, 1 and 2. 2, that is all the elements 1, 2, 3 minus 1, that is 2. So remember, indexes are starting from 0, not from 1. So if we want to uh, access the element of 0 index, like if we want to access the element of apple, that means we have to put index as 0, not as 1, because list indexes are starting from 0. So here it is. So fruits of 0 index element, that is apple. Now that we understand indexing, let's see how to use list in loops. Like, understand by an example, we have a list of fruits. Now we want to print each element of our list. So instead of writing by indexing 3 times, we can just iterate a loop over the list, like for I in that list, that name is fruits, then print I. In this loop, I is a variable which will iterate over each element of the list, and fruits is list. That means I in fruits, every element in this variable, that is list, every element of the list. So it will print every element of the list. Let's run and see. So here are the elements of the list. See, here we print our elements using for loop. What if we want to iterate a list using indexes? So there we can use while loop. Let's say this is our list, and here we will access every element of our list by indexes. So first of all, we will define a variable because we are using while loop. So while I should be less than length of list, that means it will move, the loop will iterate until the length of the list is over. That means it will start from apple and end at the length of list, that is last element of the list. So print, so here we cannot print I or fruits. Here we want to print the element, so by giving indexes, that is I, first element at the 0th index, and then first and then the second, then I should get increment of 1, and then at the end. Now we can run this. So here we got our output. So remember, here we have to write the indexes so that it can access the element of the list, not the range, that is 0, 1, 2, not only the index but the element at that index. Now let's see few functions of list like append and remove. What is append? Append in list, that means add a new element in the list at the end of the list. So like here we have this list. Now I want to add one more fruit in the list, so I can simply write fruits dot append and then whatever fruit I want to add, like grapes. So now let's print and see we got one more fruit added in the list and at the last. So append is used for adding new elements in the list, and that is also at the last, not in the beginning, not in the middle, and not anywhere. It will append or add new element in the last. Now let's see what remove function do. Remove removes any element that we want to remove from the list. Like this is a list and we want to remove apple. So fruits dot remove apple. Now print fruits. Here apple is removed. So in appending we should remember that it will add any element at the last, but in removing it can remove any element from anywhere, middle, starting, ending, from anywhere. Whatever the element we write here, it will remove that element from the list. And now just be careful with the removing element. If this does not exist in the list, the Python will throw an error, like if I write grapes which does not exist in this list, so it will show an error that list does not have access of that element. So just remember that whatever element you are writing here, that should present in the list. So now we learned about indexing, removing, appending and using loops to iterate over list. Now move on to the question to more clarify the loops. So first question, print all the elements of a list using loop. Like this is our list. So first of all we will define a function given list, then for loop we will use for loop for I in range in list, print I. So it will, so this line will iterate over list or every element of the list, and this will print the elements. So let's call and see that it's working properly or not. So let's run. So it gives every element of the list. Now next, count the number of items in a list. So here counting may include indexes. That means we can use while loop also. So let's solve this question by while loop. Like a given list. For while loop, first of all we have to define variable, then while I less than length of list, then count is equals to count plus 1. And as we used count in the loop, so we will also define count here. So it will return us the count, the number of items in the list. So let's call and see how it gives. So here return count. So here it is 3, 1, 2 and 3. Now move on to a tricky question and last question of this lecture. Given a list of numbers, return its length and the sum of all numbers. Like for length, we have used while loop, and for sum, we have used for loop. But what if we want to find length and sum both? We can use while loop as well as the for loop. Let's first do this question by for loop. First define the function and then sum 0, length also 0. Then for I in that list, sum will get added to the number or the element of the list and length will get increment by 1 because every element denotes 1 for counting and for sum that element should get added in the sum variable. So this is the variable which stores the sum of elements for each iteration and this is the variable which stores the number of elements over iterating. So at the last return sum and length. Now let's call this function and see. So here is our result. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 0 is 6 and total number of elements are 4. So these are your coding challenges questions. So try these questions and do it by your own and you can try many more questions like this, like iterating over the list by solving by indexing, and try this same question to solve the same question by while loop also. So this will help you to help you in better coding. And so this is the last lecture. Thank you. So see you all in next lecture. Thank you.